Russia collapsing, Turkey rising. The Russian Federation is a mere shadow of the former imperial glory of the Soviet Union, while to its south, a new Ottoman Empire forms. These sorts of ideas have become very popular in recent years, but how much truth is there to them? Well, in today's video, we'll try and stack Russia and Turkey against each other across numerous theaters and factors like demography, economics, and military power, and determine who's on top in the new Cold War being played out between the two countries. First off, we'll get into economics. Who has the upper hand, Russia or Turkey? Let's break it down. Russia's GDP is $1.8 trillion, double Turkey's $900 billion economy. But while before the Ukraine war, Turkey relied heavily on Russian gas and tourism, now Russia leans on Turkey to bypass Western sanctions, and trade between both nations nearly reached $60 billion in 2022, making Turkey Russia's second largest trading partner after China, thanks to Turkey's new position as a transit point between the West and Russia. Tourism plays a big role too. 5% of Turkey's GDP comes from it, with 4.7 million Russians visiting in 2021 and spending $5 billion. But when tensions rise, it cuts both ways, like after Turkey shot down a Russian jet in 2015, causing an 87% drop in Russian tourists and devastating Antalya's economy. Turkey's control of the Bosporus Strait adds even more leverage, handling 3% of global oil and 8% of natural gas transit, including 95 million tons of Russian oil in 2022. Meanwhile, Turkey imports 15% of Russia's wheat exports, processing it for global flour markets. Turkish exports to Russia, including machinery and electronics, doubled in 2023, helping to keep Russia's economy afloat during heavy sanctions. So who wins on economy? Well, Turkey has leverage through trade routes and sanctions busting, but Russia's dominance in energy resources and crucial tourist flows give it the edge. So 1-0 to Russia for the first round. Demography is destiny, so who has the upper hand in terms of people power? Russia or Turkey? Well, Turkey's 85 million people may seem small compared to Russia's 143 million, not including annexed territory, but its younger population gives it an edge for now. Turkey can now recruit 1.4 million men of military age annually, compared to Russia's 1.2 million. Russia's workforce is also shrinking due to the fertility collapses suffered in the 1990s and the war in Ukraine. The Institute of Economics at the Russian Academy of Sciences has reported a 4.8 million labor shortage, which is predicted to reach somewhere between 3 and 4 million by 2030. Turkey's younger population means it won't experience these kind of problems just yet. Its population is also aging though, and its fertility rate now hovers around 1.5 births per woman, which is well below the 2.1 needed for replacement. This, combined with Kurdish-dominated population growth in the east, could pose future challenges for Ankara. Russia too has a diverse population, including Turkic populations like Tatars, Bashkirs, and Chuvash, totaling around 15 million people, which in theory could feel the pull of Turkey if Moscow's grip on these regions faltered. The Tatars in oil-rich Tatarstan did just that in the 1990s when they declared independence, but they were reined in. They now form one of Russia's wealthiest regions. Meanwhile, Crimean Tatars oppose Russia's annexation of the peninsula and find support in Turkey. So despite demographic challenges on both sides, Turkey's younger population and cultural ties to Russia's Turkic areas give it a slight edge. Next up is military matters. Russia outguns Turkey by a wide margin, with 1.15 million active troops and 2 million reserves compared to Turkey's 425,000 active and 200,000 reserves. Russia fields 12,566 tanks, 27,083 armored vehicles, and 4,182 aircraft, dwarfing Turkey's 3,022 tanks, nearly 9,000 vehicles, and 1,000 aircraft. At sea, Russia's 59 submarines and 11 destroyers overshadowed Turkey's 16 submarines, 24 frigates, and 10 corvettes. Backed by a $145 billion defense budget versus Turkey's $33.7 billion defense budget, Russia holds a clear numerical advantage. However, Turkey's homegrown defense industry has boomed. Spurred by post-1974 embargoes, it now meets 80% of domestic military needs, up from 20% in the early 2000s. Exports surged from $1.6 billion in 2013 to 4.4 billion in 2022. Innovations like the Bayraktar TB2 drones have made Turkey a key defense exporter, with even countries like Mongolia encouraging Ankara to set up production facilities for them. Meanwhile, Russia's military-industrial complex remains resilient despite sanctions. Russia's streamlined Soviet-era infrastructure allows for high-volume, cost-effective production crucial for sustaining long-term conflicts. This efficiency is driven by Andrei Belousov, an economist who, as first deputy prime minister, oversaw the expansion of Russia's military-industrial output, including the doubling of tank production to 3,500 units by 2024, and a surge in ammunition production to 4.5 million shells annually. However, while this system enables massive production at low costs, cracks remain, raising questions about long-term sustainability. But for now, Russia's dominance stands. Next up is an often overlooked factor in national power: soft power. Turkey can leverage its strategic location, Ottoman legacy, and cultural exports to command influence globally. Istanbul is the world's most connected city, highlighting its role as a bridge between continents. Turkey's soap operas reach 150 countries, 700 million viewers, and earn $600 million annually, making it the second largest TV exporter after the United States. Likewise, Turkey's Islamic faith allows it to forge ties across much of the Muslim world, and its Turkic language and heritage gives it influence in Central Asia. While Russia retains soft power tools in its former satellites through things like the Russian language and Russian music, the Russian state itself struggles to craft a unifying ideology post-Soviet Union. Efforts based on imperial heritage, like the concept of the Russian world, have been vehemently rejected by its neighbors, like Ukraine. Russia's attempts to influence Western perceptions have had mixed success. Those conservative-leaning are often not wholly convinced of Russia's credentials as a bastion of traditional values, though Russia does seem to enjoy popularity with fringe far-left and far-right groups like the so-called MAGA communists. However, in the global south, Russia has had more success. In Africa, Russia has found success using Pan-African narratives. Influencers like Kemi Seba and Natalie Yamb, whose platforms reach 28 million views, position Russia as a counter to Western colonial legacies. Its anti-regime change narrative in the Middle East and Africa has faltered, with Assad's fall in Syria denting its carefully crafted image in favor of Turkey. It's 2-1 Turkey. Energy. Turkey's reliance on energy imports, especially from Russia, creates serious economic and security challenges. Over 80% of its energy needs are met by hydrocarbons, with Russia supplying nearly 40% of Russia's natural gas through pipelines like Blue Stream and Turkstream. Russian oil imports nearly doubled from 2021 to 2022, hitting record levels by 2023. The $20 billion Akuyu nuclear plant, built by Russia's Rosatom, will provide 10% of Turkey's electricity, with talks underway for more plants. While Turkey aims at energy independence, its growing ties to Russian energy underline its vulnerability and strategic reliance. However, with Gazprom's Ukraine transit deal now expired, Turkish pipelines are now Russia's main export route to the EU, putting Turkey in a key position in Europe's energy game. Turkey is pushing to be the region's top energy hub with its strong infrastructure, pipelines, LNG terminals, and storage facilities. Exploiting potential gas fields in northern Cyprus could further boost Turkey's energy ambitions, although it risks escalating tensions with Greece and Cyprus. A stable Syria could even revise ambitious projects like a pipeline linking Qatari gas fields to Turkey via the Arab gas pipeline network. Still, there's a long way to go before Turkey can become an energy hub. It's 2-2. Russia and Turkey are both advancing their cyber and tech capability. But who's ahead? Russia has built a robust, self-reliant IT ecosystem, led by companies like Yandex, which controls 62% of the search engine market and extends into ride-hailing, cloud computing, and more. With IT exports worth more than $7 billion annually, Russia has proven its digital resilience even under heavy sanctions. In cyber warfare, Russia ranks as a top global cyber power, using groups like Sandworm and Killnet for offensive operations, targeting critical infrastructure. Pro-Russian hacktivists have carried out over 6,600 attacks since 2022. Turkey is also focusing on strengthening its defenses and homegrown tech. Though growing, its IT sector relies more on foreign tech than Russia's does. Turkey's AI strategy is ambitious, with a $30 billion investment in high-tech industries, with plans to make the country a global AI hub. Russia's AI integration is more advanced, with 43% of businesses using AI. In cyber warfare and electronic warfare, Russia's advanced jamming systems like penicillin use acoustic and thermal sensors to locate enemy artillery in real time, bypassing radar vulnerabilities. Systems like Krasukha 4 jam drones, radar, and satellite communications, while AI-enhanced drones in Ukraine further showcase Russia's edge in electronic warfare. Turkey too can boast advanced electronic warfare tools like the Coral system, but it's clear that Russia has a slight edge here. So there we have it. We have the score at 4-2 at the end of our first video. Stay tuned for the next one, where we will be comparing how Russia and Turkey have stacked up against each other across different geographical theaters like Syria, Libya, the Black Sea, and many others.